So I come across this video of Amara Negra. Now, if you know anything about Amara Negra, some of you probably was introduced to her on the Love and Hip Hop series. You know, she's Afro-Latina, and you know she's always spoke out about the basically anti-black racism that's in Latin America. And the reason why we want to get into that is because people immigrate over here, and when they immigrate over here, remember I told you they don't leave their culture at the airport. They bring that same culture with them, right? That culture enters this country, and then they try to mesh their culture in the midst of everything that we got going on here. And America is a country that's very, I would say, abnormal to the rest of the world. What I mean by that, most countries on the planet have not took a bunch of people from all these different places, different cultures, different mindsets, different religions, and threw them all in one place to live and then try to, you know, keep that in harmony. Most places aren't built like that. So when immigrants come over to this country, they bring their mindset and what comes along with them. And if you know anything about Latin America and the mindsets over there is still very colonial. You understand? A lot of them were, in my opinion, way more messed off than even we were, right? Now, I want you to hear what Amara has to say about what she was told about, you know, getting with a black person. I want you to hear that real quick, and let's get into that.
I was told also, you know, for being black, you're very pretty, so don't mess it up by being with a black person. Look at your features, don't mess that up. And I was told so many things out of ignorance. It literally took like high school for me to actually bother to take time to educate myself and understand that it was just that generational ignorance that was passed down from one generation to the other, that it just came out of a place of ignorance. That's what you were taught, and you're passing it down to me. You're telling me that, then you're basically telling me that my black is not beautiful.
Let me build on what Amara just said. There was a video that I covered, I think maybe a year or two ago, and it was out of Latin. I think it was Brazil or Dominican Republic. I think Dominican Republic though. And the daughter had a little granddaughter, and she brought a doll, right? So the grandma, black, I mean, darker than me black, wanted her to play with the white doll, but the mom wanted her to play with the black doll. And the grandma kept pushing the black doll away and giving her the white doll. And she was very serious about this, right? And, you know, you listen to what Amara has to say, you got to think about even what happened in places like Brazil, or what basically they wanted to whiten the race. So they would, you know, get with a white person and have a child and get that child to get with a white person so they can basically breed the black out, and they be so excited to see the black bred out. And when you have people that have a self-hate mindset, because that's self-hate, you want to be another group of people. You value the people that enslaved you. You value the people that beat you down, that stole from you, that had you at the bottom of ships, that did everything to you. Because we like to talk about the story of slavery, like slavery only happened here. No, these people enslaved black folk globally. And the same things, and sometimes worse, has happened in other countries. You understand what I'm saying? And so sometimes that's what some people may have against us a little bit, like we the only one. But I would say we just have a bigger platform, a bigger microphone, and we have actually fought back. And that's what give us our platform and our microphone. Versus other groups, you have accepted the self-hate, you have accepted defeat, and you say, look, I'd rather breed out my blackness to be, hopefully down the line, my children can become white. So you have no value of blackness. Now, why does that involve anything with us here in America? If you don't value blackness in your homeland, listen to me, you're not going to value blackness over here. And if you don't value blackness over here, but you value whiteness, that's exactly where you're going to go. This is why we get a Myron Gaines. And yes, I like to use him because he's known. You get a Myron Gaines. You get a Candace Owens. Because no matter what some people say about Candace, oh, well, she's a little bit better these days. I would never forget what Candace Owens did during George Floyd and other times black people were suffering in pain. Just because she kind of toned that down, you know, maybe because she got a little older and a little wiser, it's just not too smart to do that. I haven't forgot what Candace Owens was doing. Candace Owens was being very hurtful, incendiary, And Candace Owens is not of our particular lineage anyway. She told you that many times. She's from St. Thomas. So there you go. Now, they come over with some of this mindset and they traumatize us. I've heard Amara talks about this many times before. She's literally been kind of traumatized about her blackness, and it ain't come from us. It didn't come from black Americans. It came from people in her homeland. It came from where she's from. Listen, we have been one of the main people that have said we are black and we are proud. We are proud to be black. You don't hear a bunch of black people saying, you know what, oh, let me get with a white person so I can breed out my blackness. That's not what black people say. Black people don't even seek. Matter of fact, let's call it what it is. In the black community, especially a black man and a black woman, but more so the black man, if you get with a white person, that's usually pretty not, it's looked down upon. I'm going to say that much. I'm just being real. It is. It's not going to be supported. It's just not. Black men get more scrutiny. Black women get scrutiny, but not as much as black men. I'm just being real about it. And a lot of the reason, I tell people this, black people and white people still have beef. The beef have not been settled. And that's where a lot of that comes from, be honest with you. And then if you start asking a lot of logical questions about situations like that, the relationship is one-sided. It really doesn't benefit black people in that manner, because you get with these people and yet they don't use their privilege to help you. You have children with them and you marry them, but yet they don't help fight to change no laws to help their black children. In some instances, they have racism toward their black children. I just saw a video today of a black woman. Her mom's white, but she's visibly black. Every feature on her is black. You know, the white woman, I guess, was the incubator. And she's sitting up here talking about her looks. And I'm like, I know you look nothing like your daughter do, because your daughter took after the daddy. I can see that. Maybe she got a little lighter skin, but she took after her daddy. She looked. I wouldn't have known her mom was white by looking at her. She didn't have no ambiguous look at all. And I remember interviewing a young lady some years ago about, she supported Colin Kaepernick, and her mama called her the N-word for supporting Colin Kaepernick. If you remember that young lady I interviewed with years ago. I mean, so for me, that's why I say that just wasn't a choice for me. But people do whatever they want to do. I'm not the police of what people do with their relationships. I'm not. I got my own stuff I need to tend to, right? But they teach this a lot, and black people in Latin America are literally invisible. Think about it. When you say Puerto Rican, you don't think of somebody that maybe look like me as a Puerto Rican. Who do you, in your mind, think a Puerto Rican is? Bad Bunny. That's a Puerto Rican, right? When there's all kind of black folks in Puerto Rico. When you say Cuban, most people think about what? The white-looking Cubans. You think a person like Marco Rubio. You don't think about the black folks that's in Cuba. And it's not hard to go find that out. You can go on YouTube and look at videos from other YouTubers who go walking around in Cuba, and there's a bunch of black folks all over the place. When you say Mexico or Mexicans, you're not viewing a black person that look like me. You think of what people in their mind view a Mexican is, and there's not nobody that look like me, yet it's a bunch of black people in Mexico. Costa Rica, bunch of black people there. We're all in Latin America because slavery was all up in this hemisphere. It was slavery. Brazil had the more slaves, which was colonized by the Portuguese. They have more black folks in Brazil outside. They the number one country outside the continent of Africa. They have a lot of black folk. They have more black folks in Brazil than you have here in the United States. And they was enslaved 10 years longer officially than we were enslaved. And a lot of brothers and sisters in Brazil still deal with some of that racism from them folks over there. This is a real thing. And when they immigrate over here, not people that realize the situation about their blackness, we ain't talking about people like Amara, But we talking about people who may immigrate up here and join with the white Republicans and say, oh yeah, them black Americans, they just lazy. Well, you will say that because you value whiteness. That's why. And in my community, we don't value whiteness. There's nothing about it that we value. We don't want no validation from them. We don't want anything. We just want to be left alone. That's really what it is. We don't want to bother with nobody. We don't listen. You look like kind of like what's that movie Sugar Hill? Look, Ramillo, you do your thing, I do my thing, and that's just really what it is with them. If they go do their thing, let us do our thing, and that's it. Like this, just do your, and we don't have no beef, no problem. But no, we can't do our thing because they gonna keep coming around getting in our business. That's the issue that we have. Because I don't see black folks saying, ooh, let me go over here and go see what the white people are doing or go bother with the white people. We don't do that. There's no reason to. We got our own things that we gonna go do and enjoy. You know what I'm saying? No matter, we got our own restaurants, our own lounges and clubs. We got parties to go to, events to go to. Man, we don't have to be in nothing that they got going on. But people like Amara, when they immigrate over here and they value whiteness, that's why when Kendrick Lamar was saying they are not like us, that's true. Because I've been in many places and I haven't seen black folks have our mindset like we have it. Now, in South Africa, I've seen like 50-50. I've seen some that's like, hey man, ain't folks, forget them, And then I've seen some, they be like, want to see if you can go along and get along with them. Like, y'all the majority, you ain't got to go along to get along with nothing. But you got to understand also in South Africa, they don't like Julius Malema. And, Julius speak like we speak, right? About them folks. So they let you know a lot right there. If Julius Malema was in the United States, oh man, you think EFF would be huge. It would be huge if he was in the United States. Let's say if he spoke the same way, nothing different, but it was the same thing, economic freedom fighters here in America, you know what I'm saying? It would be, he would be huge because he'll have a lot of people supporting him. But over there, there's people that still want to get along with them folks. I don't know why. You're not going to get nothing out of it. This is being real. But when we encounter these other groups, that's what we're dealing with too. You're dealing with people who come over who have a value of whiteness. They want white validation. And so they would do anything that they make the white folks happy. So if that's being against us, that makes them happy. Now we're talking about the racist ones. We're not talking about the ones that's not racist. I have to give a disclaimer because people can't listen, right? They join with them in the ideology and speak against us. Yeah, you black Americans are lazy. Okay, and even if we were, what that got to do with you? Black people on food stamps. Okay, and if we are on food stamps, what that got to do with you? That's what the question you got to ask a lot of people when they come up. See all these. A lot of times you can just bust them down based on just knowledge and numbers, but you throw it right back at a person and say, okay, even if that's true, what they got to do with you? How is that affecting you? And remember, you just got here, buddy. So how is that affecting you? And if you don't like our food stamp usage, well, that's a place you can go where you ain't got to worry about no Americans doing a thing. And then when you check them, they want to say xenophobia. When a person uses a name and don't use any kind of factual argument to say anything, that means they don't have a high intellectual capacity. They have to revert to name calling because everything they say is emotional, and anything emotional is going to collapse under logical scrutiny. Always going to collapse. That's why they're going to revert to name calling and shaming tactics because they don't have nothing else. That's the only way they can stop you is hopefully you feel shame for what you're saying and make you feel guilty. And hopefully that name will get you defensive. And when you just like, you can say whatever you want. Okay, prove that. I'm xenophobic. Okay, cool. And what law have I passed to get you out of here? Am I part of ICE? No. So I can't get you out of here. What ordinance I put down to get you out of here or do something to you? Haven't done that. Right? Now, I'm a person with an opinion, and that's my First Amendment right. Okay? And that's really as far as it goes. I just have an opinion. I think the worst that maybe a so-called xenophobic person can do to you is call ICE on you. And even if they call ICE on you, it's on ICE to go respond to what you're saying and to go investigate you. A person so-called speaking against illegal immigration do not have the power to deport you. They don't. So getting mad at people online because what they say don't mean nothing because they don't have the power to deport. The ones who have the power to deport is ICE, Department of Homeland Security, Trump administration. That's the one you need to talk to. Talking to black folks online don't get it. But when they come over with that white validation, but see, let me tell you what two things have been happening. The delineation movement and the ICE raids. Those two things right there has really woke up a lot of immigrants in this country. Delineation basically removed the protective covering they had. So when the protective covering got removed, ICE literally has a free reign now because they have no covering. This is why other groups want us to get out there so much, is because they know we out there, that's a protective covering and a shield for them, because we'll take all abuse. You know what I'm saying? They won't. So as long as we saying now we good, we're not going to be involved in anything, y'all got it. As long as we having that kind of mindset, then people getting this wake-up call. And that's why black folks got to stay behind sitting down and staying out the way. Because these other groups need a good 4 years of that. They need that. Trust me, we're helping them by sitting down. We're helping their mindsets about white supremacy by sitting down. We're actually helping them. We're helping them to realize what white supremacy really is, because we have covered them and shielded them for so long. So when you come with those mindsets about white validation, you get to really see what the beast is. You're going to be like, wow, black people told us that we didn't listen. And if we would have kept getting in the way and covering them and shielding them, they'll never learn their lesson. Trust me, it's going to be a lot of people that's going to really come to black people and say, hey, I was wrong. I seen the light. Notice everybody want to be black now? Have y'all noticed that too? Everybody has discovered their blackness. Now, when black folks were talking about Pan-Africanism, and yes, I understand Pan-Africanism was started here. It wasn't started on a continent. It was started here. But when black folks started Pan-Africanism, because we so much forward thinking, our forward thinking of Pan-Africanism was this: why don't black people unify all over the world and we work together, and we are stronger together? But other groups didn't want it. But now, since they dealing with that beast, now they want some Pan-Africanism. Now everybody dropping the foreign flags. Everybody saying they black. Listen, it's so bad they want to take over our Black History Month. Listen, never in my life have I seen Black America have to fight with other people in the diaspora about our Black History Month. I've never seen that in my life. Never. Is it that bad? Has Trump woke y'all up that much that y'all now want to try to come in and commandeer Black History Month? No, that's not going to happen. And you think you're going to commandeer Black History Month, Juneteenth, or anything else? You're going to have a hostile response. I just think don't do that. If you want to say, hey, Happy Black History Month, is great to celebrate, the people that done great things in Black America, hey, that's no problem. Everybody can celebrate. But if you think you're going to go commandeer and make it about yourself, you're going to have a hostile response. And I'm just warning you ahead of time. It's going to it's becoming very hostile, because you don't disrespect another person's culture. You just don't do that. I mean, just like, for instance, I seen a Chinese woman was on TikTok talking about, yeah, it's cool, everybody like trying to celebrate Chinese New Year now, but yeah, I'm not liking seeing all what these white women are doing, talking about their videos for Chinese New Year. It's like they're colonizing our holiday. Now, it was a Chinese woman was saying that. Now, black folks, we've been talking about that, right? Well, but we got to gatekeep our culture. So no, you can't come take our Black History Month. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. But the Trump administration is giving a lot of good wake-up calls. Everybody gonna be super black. Listen, all black immigrants gonna be running around here like CB4 talking about I'm black, y'all, I'm bliggity black, and I'm black, y'all. Trust me, they all gonna be raising their fist with their accents and everything. They ain't going to hear no talk about no a foreign flag. Matter of fact, some of them now are trying to hide their flags, or even not tell you they're from another land, or even if they're first generation and they were born here, they're not even trying to tell you. Because that's how much of a wake-up call the Trump administration and ICE has given them. And I know some of y'all not liking some of that. Say, "Well, why you want to be black now, Ilhan Omar? Why y'all black now?" Well, you wasn't black before. It's like, look kind of fake to me. But the reason why they doing it is because they didn't realize, oh, you a Negro in this country. It don't matter what your language is. It don't matter what your religion is. It don't matter. To them, you just a Negro that got a different religion and you speak a different language. That's all you is. And actually, you worse because you can speak a language they don't know, and they more worried about you than they worry about us because they know we don't speak multiple languages as a collective. Now, I say some of us don't know other languages, but as a collective of people, we don't speak a different language other than maybe our own Black American vernacular English. Outside of that, most of us don't speak any kind of other foreign language. So they're definitely nervous around y'all. Because y'all can in their mind, you can talk to each other and plot on them and they won't know what you're saying. But we're not the same. But shout out to Amara for really speaking on these issues. I appreciate her doing that. But, the brothers and sisters in Latin America, you got to get your act together. Love blackness, love who you are, love your homeland, and fight for it. And don't dilute who you are. Trying to think you're gonna better your family by getting them folks. No, you get with all the black people that you can. And shoot, there's especially some of them brothers, they like going down there to the Latin American countries, and the ones that single, of course. When you talk about none of you married guys who's out here being committing adultery. We ain't talking about you. But we talking about the little single men that may want to marry somebody. We ain't talking about nobody that's tricking, because you can trick right here in America. But hey, there's a lot of brothers out there that'll marry some of the Afro-Latinos. That's just really what it is. So we got to learn about these other groups and their mindsets. So when we encounter these mindsets, we know actually how to talk to them, how to deal. Because sometimes they just need a good FBA talking to. They really do, to bring them out of that mindset. Because sometimes a 5-minute conversation could change somebody's life. Trust me, I've seen it.